Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 17 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. With me, always, is my co-host, Reeves. Say what's up.
What's up, Top Chef babies? So glad to see you here.
Brian's here.
Hello, I'm here.
Brian's here again.
I'm here.
He might not be here the next week. He might not be here next week or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I got a
today.
big end of month coming up. No, next week I'll be here, but then after that it's going to get a little dicey for a bit.
Not dicey, just like normal.
No, I'm going on vacation, and then I'm that's not going to affect anything because that's a Sunday to a Thursday, and then I'm going to visit my sister who's having a baby. And
condolences.
Yeah, right. Condolences to her.
Mm-hmm.
So then
condolences to her.
We'll see how that goes.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah, thanks.
She can't win. She can't win Top Chef now.
Yeah, she definitely can't win Top Chef
now.
now. She'll be too obsessed with it.
She's also covered in tattoos though, so that she's already that's like major strike. She'd never win Top Chef.
She's cooked. She's cooked. She can't win.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a gunkle, which stands for great uncle.
All right.
I'd lose that. I'd lose it. I'd figure out something else. Don't call yourself Gunkle. You're setting yourself up for failure. Speaking of setting yourself up for failure, did Tom contact anyone this week?
Wow, yeah, let's get right into it. So Tom called me out of the blue. I was actually eating dinner.
Me and Reeves must not have answered if he called you.
Yeah, I have.
He must have tried us. We didn't answer, and he was like, I guess I'll call him.
I got him in my phone, but it's like I have him titled as like "Do Not Answer," so like I know it's him, and I know not to like. Because sometimes I might impulse answer, see that I recognize the number, I see no, so I usually give it a pass. I
have him as he'll call back in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
if it's really important, he'll call back.
Yeah,
he called me from a burner phone is what he said. He said he had two cell phones because I didn't recognize the number. And he said afterwards, after the call ended, he said, delete this number. Never call it again.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it's a burner phone,
yeah.
What would be the...
He told me I do the burn part, he said.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, I've run into that with him too, where it's like, he'll be like, can you now come to me and take my phone and destroy it?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't really have time for that, but
yeah, he was like, "Hey, can you destroy your phone?"
Yeah, he's like, "Or I'm gonna mail you this phone real quick, and I want you to smash it for me."
Yes, yeah.
And he just puts it in the mailbox, and I don't know what happens to that phone. I don't think he put my address on it or anything.
No, I think what he does is he opens the phone and he says, "Go to the recipient's name," and puts it in the mailbox.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
It's not even close to how it works.
Tom did ask me if I knew any guys who could get him a new phone. I was like, what do you mean by guys? He was like, guys like you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He does like talk to you that way. And I think it is. I don't know if we need to talk to him about it or something. Or
he's in his bag.
Yeah.
He's in his bag, especially this season. He's in his throwback bag.
Definitely.
So yeah, he was on the go. He goes in like different environments. He was in like stores. There's like music playing. Sometimes that like audio would get bad, and because he was kind of all over the place. He was like really moving along. It's a long conversation. It kind of like rambled, and he'd come back on topic, and then he would go off on tangents. So I've pulled the important information from this phone call. Because he would talk about everything else, then he would come back and talk about the podcast, and he would say, "This is your report card. I didn't do it on paper this year. I'm trying to save the environment," is what he said.
Okay. And this is all, like, you recorded the phone call.
Yeah.
Yes, I record every phone call that I have.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
You
yeah.
should tell us that as a reminder every time I call you.
Well, you know what? Now I remember you saying it because you said like you read that Nixon memoir and you were like, that is a good idea. Go ahead and record anything you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good idea. It can't come back around on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, can't hurt you.
It protects the person I'm on the phone with and myself.
Mhm.
that's right.
And they can't use it against you because you recorded.
Yes.
You press record, so it's your recording. So,
and also I have stacks of tapes because of it, so it's cool. People ask about the tapes.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "How do you get phone messages onto tapes?" That's the question they have.
Yeah.
And I don't tell them.
Well, yeah.
It's involved. It's an involved process.
It's involved. Okay. If Linda Tripp can figure it out, I can figure it out. Okay.
Yeah. Bill Clinton. So, okay. So let's just we'll get into it. So we're not spending too much time on this. First things first is, as soon as we started this podcast today, I realized how much more work this is going to be for me in the editing because it's like 9 clips. I didn't think about it while I was taking the clips from the phone call until just right now. So that's fun.
Well, this is good karma. You said that we weren't trying enough, and here we are trying.
Yeah,
this is
now
try month for us.
Now it's almost too much trying.
Okay.
So here we go. First things first.
This is nice because it's like you are talking to the fans in the future at this point.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we're experiencing it live, and we're going to get one experience of it. And the fans will see what happened when you tried to edit it in a few seconds. So that's very exciting.
I think it'll go okay. I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
So I outright said, it was he was like, "What questions do you have for me?" And I said, "Okay.
Oh.
What do you think about last season? Just give me top of mind your first thoughts about the last season." So Jamal, can you play the first clip?
Okay.
The environment was hostile, clearly sexist, often racist.
So that's
pretty concise.
I mean, just to give some context to our fans, he is, of course, talking about our last season of the show that we did of the podcast.
Yes.
Not like a previous season of Top Chef. He's reporting on us.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though some of the things could map over, he is talking about us.
Yeah. Yeah. This is our season 5 report card from Tom. He's talking about Pod Chef.
Yeah. And, just for anyone who didn't hear it, let's play it again.
The environment was hostile, clearly sexist, often racist.
Okay. Hostile, often sexist, often racist.
Yeah.
Do we want to defend ourselves or just like dig ourselves deeper into it?
Yeah, I hate to put a name to any of these. I'll take the racist one. I am racist. Which one do you guys want to be?
I mean, if I had a choice, I really wouldn't want to be any of them. But it is true that is the podcast, I guess. There are moments of that. But isn't that life, right? There's moments we make mistakes. Sometimes the podcast is hostile when one of the hosts tells the rest of them that, the pod isn't going well and people aren't trying, and that creates a bad environment for the show.
Leading into the new season. Yep.
So these things happen, and then you work through them, and
it's kind of sexist when like a co-host and the main host are like, "Hey, we should get let's invite some ladies on," and then third mic is like, "Do we have to? What are we pandering?"
It's that okay. First of all,
he literally said he didn't want his wife on the podcast.
First
anymore.
of all, listen,
this is not me, for the record.
We have 3 men on this podcast. It's inherently sexist. That's just like, by not including women, it's inherently sexist.
Okay. And we know you've read books on this. We get it.
Yeah. We do not pass the Bechdel test at all. We're always talking about guys.
Are those tests standardized?
And
that's
is
my
that
question.
racist? Yeah.
Is that racist?
And then racist, I don't know, because this is last season, not the previous episode. So he's not.
Me. That's me. I'll take full credit for that. I'm racist.
So everyone who's out there who's like, black people can't be racist,
I'm absolutely
he's telling
racist.
you that he is.
Yeah.
And I also want to throw this back on Tom a bit because, and I don't remember if it was this season or the previous season or the season before it, but he did write things to us that had racial undertones and overtones to it.
We don't even need to talk about that movie.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
It's all over the place in racism, sexism. hostility.
Absolutely. So he's a
Torture.
partner in all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's separating himself from it as much as he's just like bringing it to light. You know?
You can't go to church and then try and denounce the church.
Yeah, you're out there,
You're giving
Saturday
tithes.
night getting drunk. Sunday morning, you're in church.
Yeah, come on.
Hot seat, a little hot in the pew. You know, sinning.
Let's keep going. Wash your sins away.
Yeah, let's keep going. So when he said that, I was like, okay, noted. What can we do to make the show better? In this way, so can you play the third track, Jamal?
Oh, third. Foolish of me to think we were going 1-2.
I might skip it. I might skip it or go back to it.
That's my bad.
It's mostly just in order, so I know which ones they are.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
It's about creating good habits. It's about learning good, solid technique and methods. So it's much like learning to play a musical instrument. You have to understand basics. You have to understand theory, and then from there you can improvise.
But improv is the worst part of this podcast when we improvise. So
our team doesn't work together anymore, RoboQ. We
what I'm
can't
talking
just
about?
do two-man shows. It's bad.
So
RoboQ.
I don't
Is
think
there
you
a
know-
reason why no Decepticons want to be on our team?
I disagree with Tom's critique there, because clearly if you listen to more episodes, he would not say it's like improv. Just do that and then stuff will get better.
But what he's saying is we need to have better control of the of the structure, and then we can improvise more. Right now, the structure's kind of all over the place.
It's too loose.
It's too loose.
It's too loose.
You
We
have
need to refine the
Yes.
structure,
Yes.
get a tighter outline, and
then you can mess it up.
In there, you can dance. That's
Yes.
your dancing area.
Yeah,
You know, when you go to a wedding and it's like the big ballroom, but it's got that square. That's that
The
wooden
dancing square.
Everyone knows that's where you do your dancing.
That's where the
wedding
circle
is
happens.
all around it.
Mhm.
So that's what he wants. Okay, I can agree with that.
Here's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I'm pissed as shit. Because it's like, I'm going to be frank, he can kiss my ass with that stuff.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa,
'Cause it's-
you are pissed.
There is
Holy crap.
no way I want more structure to this show. I'm a fucking artist. I don't need structure. You want to hold me down? I work within my own brain, all right? My own creative mind.
Yeah.
If I put any kind of structure to that, you think you're going to get the genius that comes out into this stupid microphone and into these people's stupid ears? No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
You can't hold me back. Wrong.
Okay. So that's two. Jamal said that's wrong. Reeves says that's wrong.
And then I also did the improv stuff before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So going off of that, I said, okay, structure, I get it. We have had some complaints. We had one complaint. We got one complaint officially, and it seems to be a problem with the structure. So this is Tom's notes on complaints that we should get. So Jamal, can you play the second clip now?
Now we're doing the second clip.
If someone complains, you root that out. You don't let that get swept under the rug. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's an executive chef. In fact, in one of my restaurants, an executive chef just did something that was completely out of line. He was gone the next day. And you can't let anyone protect that person. You can't let someone, talk you out of it. It has to be fast, it has to be decisive.
So to that, I say to the guy that left the bad comment about us, get out of here. Get him out of here.
Get him out.
Get him out of here.
Swift
Get
punishment.
him out of here.
No one protect him. No one say that's good. Get him out of here.
We're
Lock
no
him up.
longer going to put the timestamp of when we talk about Top Chef. Now you're just going to have to listen to the whole thing or skip around because that guy's out of here.
Yep. If you complain, get out of here.
I can't stand complainers.
No. And Tom can't either. He gets him out of here. Okay. After that, I said, okay, what can we do? No, wait, I already did that one. Hold on. I should have gone in order. Okay.
No.
After that, Tom kind of rambled a little bit. He kind of got off. This is one of the times when we got off topic, but I feel like this is pertinent to this. He started to remind me of why he asked us to do the podcast.
Oh, okay. This
So
is nice.
you can play the.
My reason for doing it, my wife always says she shouldn't say this, but my reason for doing the show was because I got tired of going to like food festivals, and it can come with book signing, and I'm signing books next to Bobby Flay, and he's signing 200 and I'm signing 20. And I didn't think it was because he was a better chef or had a better book.
So it turns out that I think the first part got cut off because I was talking over it, but he says like the reason I'm doing the show, it turns out he had us do the podcast because he wants to do better than Bobby Flay. He wants to beat Bobby Flay.
Why doesn't he just go on the show?
There's
beat
a whole
Bobby Flay,
show.
and just heads up 1-1. Why not do the Iron Chef challenge?
He thought
Wasn't
this was
Tom
better.
Colicchio at one point an Iron Chef?
I don't know.
He
I
might
thought he
have
was.
been. I feel like he's one of those, and I relate to this, where it's like to hold on to your prestige. You don't compete in things.
Yeah.
To make it seem like, listen, I'm already great. I don't
Yeah.
need to compete. Who
Yeah.
knows how I would do? I probably win, but we don't know
Yeah.
because I haven't actually done it.
Yeah, but then I'm also like taking away from you who could win, and you need this because you're lesser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's like he's coming at Bobby Flay from all angles.
Yeah.
He's sneaking in there with this podcast thing to draw away his popularity. That's just one of the ways you can beat Bobby Flay. Look, I'll name 4 ways you can beat Bobby Flay right now. Cook better than him, draw his fans away. You get more marbles when you throw the marbles down that are his marbles, and 4, you punch him in the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Tom is not fooling me, because the fact that he brought up that Bobby's signing more books at the food festivals means that at some point in time they're sitting next to each other and Bobby's pen ran out of ink and he was like, "Hey Tom, you're not using yours. Can I borrow yours?" And Tom's like, "No."
Yeah, Tom's no, and he's
And-
covered in like piles of books, unsigned books.
And Bobby's like, "That's fine. They'll give me a new pen. I've got so many people to get through."
Mm-hmm.
And I got stuck with Tom. Tom's like, "I need to change it up. I can't. Next time I come back here, I need this line." And you know what? Since this podcast has taken off, I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 more people have shown up and signed some books.
100%.
Certainly, Brian has.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian definitely has.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%.
We're making a change.
So I said, okay, well then who likes our show? It seems like you don't like our show. We're getting critiques that are mean. Who likes our show? Jamal, play clip 5.
The kids were loving it. And I really expected the kids to just kind of like, we don't like this, and I thought we were gonna have a big problem on our hands. The kids really, really enjoyed it. They went crazy over it.
Okay.
That's true. I can confirm that. Kids love this podcast.
Kids love it. I'm trying to
Kind
find
of.
a reason for that.
Well, let me tell you the reason why. Here's why kids like the podcast. We're often confrontational. We're often sexist. And we're often racist. If that's not youth, what is?
Mm-hmm.
We're speaking their language. They come here for like the real talk. They're suppressed at school all day long. They can't say anything at school. You know how these schools are.
Yeah.
Then they come here and they're like, finally, 3 dudes who are just saying it like it is.
Yep. Chopping it up.
And the black guy who keeps going after Don. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Don moment in today's episode that I was like,
started.
oh shit, Jamal's going to be furious. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Get me started.
Reeves, do you have any thoughts on the kids?
It could also be that they're drunk. I think it's canon in this show
Yeah, it could
that
be that.
kids
Yeah.
get drunk
Yeah.
sometimes on the Top Chef. So maybe it's that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too. Tom really loved the season that we did 2 seasons ago with all the guests. He loved that season. He wouldn't stop talking about it. Jamal, play clip 6.
2 seasons ago, that was an amazing season.
I agree. That was an amazing
Yeah,
season.
he wouldn't stop talking about it.
No, he wouldn't.
So when we say 2 seasons ago, are we talking about the season with all the guests? Or are we talking about the season where he submitted his own scripts that he got
I
to
guess
hear?
that is 2 seasons.
That
ago.
is 2 seasons ago.
We're
seasons.
3 seasons removed from all the guests.
Yes.
Mhm.
Holy shit! Okay, then he likes the one that featured him a lot. That fucking narcissistic motherfucker.
Wow, he really pulled a fast one.
Wow. I thought he was talking about the guests. He was like, you kept having the best stuff on there. It was the best stuff. The openers were great. And I was like, yeah, the guests, they were so good.
No, it's just his. He likes to hear his own script and everything else that came along with it. It's typical.
Oh my God. All right. He handed the phone to Padma, and this is what she said. Clip 7, Jamal.
Brian really not only embraced where he was, but also let himself go. Just opened up in a way that I don't think any of us have ever seen before.
And that was really nice.
What's she
talking about?
She says, it says Brian. She's talking about me.
Oh.
She says Brian.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Let's hear it again.
I gotta hear this again.
Brian really not only
I don't
embraced.
think she says Ryan.
No, it's Brian.
I thought
Jamal,
she said Diane.
Let's play it again.
Any of us have ever seen.
Everyone listen to the very beginning of this because it sounds like either Ryan or Diane. Right?
Yeah, Ryan, I think.
Brian.
Yeah, Ryan.
Why would it wouldn't make any sense for her to get me on the phone and talk about some guy named Ryan?
Wasn't there a Ryan in last season? I think.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If it is Brian, it sounds like a Brian with an I, if anything.
Yeah, and do we know that it's the right Brian?
Yeah.
Malarkey, maybe.
Well, Tom said, here, Padma, I've got Brian on the phone. And then he handed her the phone.
Did he specify which
no,
Brian?
No, he did not.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so
I think it's about me. It certainly is not about Brian Voltaggio. 100% is not about Brian Voltaggio.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's not one of the ones that Jamal and I guessed, so I don't think it's that one.
No.
Did
Okay.
Tom make any comments about, the bald people?
He did. You
Me
go ahead and
playing
play
along
the ninth clip.
because-
I have black friends, but
That's all he had to say.
But what?
But what?
But what? You don't usually put a but there. You usually be like, and I've got black friends and we hang out all the time. I've got black friends and they're the funniest motherfuckers I know. What's the but? Just nothing good comes after the but when you say I have black friends, but
Yeah,
it's almost like it's like I have black friends, but all that rioting can't get behind it.
Yeah, he said that a few times. It was he was like, make sure that you talk about this part.
Okay.
And then I asked him to wrap the whole thing up. And these are his final thoughts. Jamal, track 8.
It's a great season.
That's it.
Yep.
great season. Okay, so not a bad report card. We've had some.
That's at least a B, I think.
I think so. We've had some
great season
doozies where
Yeah.
it seemed like he was not happy with what we did. And,
Yeah.
This one, I mean, besides the fact that he called us racists and misogynists and some other things, he seems to think it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mostly upset about him saying black people, but not that he called me racist or misogynist.
He has black friends, but
Yeah. I have black friends, but I want to dig into that. That's the thing I care about.
maybe next time he calls, we can ask him about it.
Yeah, that's a cliffhanger. We're gonna get that answer to that, but
Yeah. I guess you have to listen to next week. So
Yeah,
let's
it seems like, just really quick, just wanted to really quick go over that last segment.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like I should have probably played Tom's first thing at the end, because that I think had the most impact. And we
you're talking
burned it.
about the flow of the clips?
Yeah.
I
think-
would give some editing to that, but I think, listen, the idea was great. You put in some work, and listen, you're going to put in some work in the back end too. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe
Not
the
enough time in the
sequencing I would
weekend.
change, but I think it was solid.
Okay.
Somebody's wife is going to be alone this weekend. All the work you got to do,
Yeah. We'll be up all night Sunday, just cranking this one out.
cranking it out until early morning Monday.
Yeah.
Then you're like, it's 9 a.m. I got to get to work.
And I just publish it immediately. It's nice when I can hit publish later. I just gotta put it
You
right
hit
out there.
publish, and then you straighten your tie and goes, I'm clocked in.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll hit publish, and then I'll realize that I spelled Premiere wrong. To everyone out there who thinks that I spelled Premiere wrong in the last episode, no, I didn't, because what I meant was it was the best Top Chef.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't yes, it was also the first one of the season, but it was also the best.
Yeah, it was a premiere
Yeah.
episode.
It's
Mhm.
the primo. You know,
Yes.
he almost put primo.
Yes. Yeah. So just drop it, okay?
So
Drop
stop
it.
messaging us saying that it's misspelled, okay? Because it's not. You just don't understand that he has a great SAT vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I mean, I know we're probably a little bit long on time here with this intro, but we have so many people that message us with spelling and, grammar errors.
Yeah.
It's a whole group of fans we have. They call themselves the Beehive because they're spelling bee people. And it's really like, I don't check our social media, but what I've been told is it's filling up our inbox with a bunch of punctuations and, spelling mistakes, all that kind of stuff. And, Brian doesn't have time for that. And a lot of times it's what he meant to do anyway.
Yep.
So,
yeah, they're not
If there's
mistakes.
something the Beehive hates, it's when you compare spelling mistakes you made to maybe a great speller in the past.
Yes. Yeah. And I can't think of what that would be right now.
Someone who spelled a lot, did a lot, changed the game for vocabulary way back when, and they're like, well, don't compare me to that person. They're two different spellers.
Yeah. Yeah. I also just want to say I'm glad that Reese brought up the Beehive, and I hope this doesn't further stoke the fire, but we're gonna need the Beehive and the Foot Clan to stop coming for each other in the comments and on the message boards, because it's beginning. It's hostile, and we don't need it. Yes, you are two different fan groups that love the same thing, Pod Chef, but don't yuck someone's yum. Don't be mad at the Foot Clan because they like feet, and Foot Clan, don't be mad at the Beehive because they like spelling correctly.
And the Beehive is the yuck.
Yes.
The Foot Clan is the yum.
And we know all your subtle ways that you're doing it. When you post pictures of a bee, flying around a foot or something like that, or a foot smashing a bee or something. We know what you mean by that. Okay.
Yeah.
When you put a picture of a home minus ohm and then a 5 minus the F, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These aren't dog whistles. These are just whistles. We know what's happening.
Know what you're doing.
Stop it, because it's going to get out of hand. Okay? We don't need the first shot to happen and then for this to go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please do not review our podcast and write some kind of cryptic message about what clan or hive you're a part of and what you plan to do to the other one. Don't write that in our podcast comments. Don't write that in our social media. We really don't need it.
Yeah. No affiliation. Do not express your affiliation when reviewing the podcast. Please. We don't need the FBI investigating us any further. We're already being investigated for, they say that we're pretending to be the official Top Chef podcast. It's all, that's too much, okay? They've been rooting through my garbage for months. And they keep saying, man, you order a lot of takeout. I don't need to hear that from them anymore. I'm like, Agent Morris, I know.
Why won't you just feed them? You really should. They sound like they're so hungry.
Because then I feel like it's bribery. If I give them food directly, then I'm bribing them and then I go to jail.
Yeah, they're trying to...
They're tricky.
Trick you. This is a good segue to Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment due every week. It's where we present what we had last night, only last night, to the judges, as if we're presenting to the judges of Top Chef. I'll go first. Chefs I Prepared for You. Baked salmon.
Ooh.
Period?
Comma.
Okay.
Sweet potatoes.
And this is for all the Beehive out there saying the commas out loud.
Comma. Arugula salad. Period.
Okay.
Chef's kiss.
What did you had salmon in a while?
I was going to say, the last time I think you said you had salmon, Reeves asked you if you made all the fat come out of it.
I did not. I cook it on low heat, 325, so none of the proteins pop out.
The proteins.
So low. How long?
for like 35 minutes.
Low and
I want
slow.
to. I want to lightly cook it so it's not overcooked, and man, it comes out. It's so juicy and tender. See, I've been cooking salmon wrong for a long time. Putting it on like 350, maybe 400. You're cooking it too rough. You gotta cook it low.
Low and
and slow.
slow. Do you give it a little sear, pan fry? Get that?
No.
No. You just like it.
And the only
nice
reason why I
juicy.
don't do that, it's not that I don't want to do that. It's just it makes everything in my house smell like fish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I stopped doing that because I don't have proper ventilation here.
Yeah.
So
What happens?
Chefs, I prepared for you crispy fried rice with bacon and cabbage, and I fucked it up. Just like I fucked up
This
my
is
dinner
a
last
oh
week.
no,
Oh,
Reeves.
Have y'all ever made fried rice before?
Have y'all ever made?
I have not.
So this is the second time I've gone at it. And here's the thing.
Actually, it's not true. I have.
Oh, you
I'm
have?
sorry.
How'd it go?
Ordered from was it
Like Blue Apron or something?
yeah, something like that, and I had you had to make fried rice. Yeah, it turned out all right.
I've made fried rice before. It's okay.
So what kind of rice did you guys use? At what state and what rice?
I don't remember.
I know that you're
so.
Oh, sorry, God.
No, I'm done.
Oh, I know that you're supposed to use old rice.
Yes.
So who just has
So
old rice sitting around?
I cooked rice earlier in the day. I've done this twice now. And I think it also is brown rice. It's maybe not the best rice to use. But the
Gross.
main thing is like
Terrible.
Gross,
gross and
Terrible.
terrible. It's
Gross.
moisture.
dry.
It's
Dry.
got to be dry, and you got
Gotta
to
be
get
dry.
that. You got to get that wok very, very hot. And I think both of
Mhm.
those things I didn't do well. It was definitely hot, but it could have been hotter. And I don't think the rice was dry enough because it looked great. Everything was looking so good, and I did a great job with it. And then the last, 2 minutes, all of a sudden, mush. It just turned to
Oh
mush,
no!
and I was so angry about it.
You were in the zone, and then you went past the zone.
Yeah, I went past the zone.
You have a wok?
I do have a wok. It was a
You were
Christmas
cooking on the
gift.
wok. Yeah, you got to take that off the wok when you're done. We won't let it rest.
Oh,
Reeves
maybe
is a
that's
bit
what I
of
should
a
have
Reeves is a
done.
bit of a walk
you
man.
cannot leave anything in a wok and think that it's not going to be superheated or changed. When you're done cooking it, get it off that wok.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
These shoes are made for walking.
And that's just what you'll do.
Mm-hmm.
What maybe you don't want to talk about it, but what distracted you in those last 2 minutes that caused you to
There was no
let it get to
distraction.
shit?
It was just I was just like going with it, and like the ingredients, the recipe for it was like kind of vague on the timing at the end. So I was just kind of feeling it out, and I was like, it needs to get a little crispier, and I was kind of moving in the egg, and somewhere in between the egg scrambling and like the last minute, all of a sudden it was just like mush.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Did it
I
still
gotta
taste
try
good?
tomorrow. I thought it did. I think I put too much fish sauce in it too, so that might have been part of it. It was okay.
What was your sous chef doing this whole time?
He was okay. So he was at the window screaming at. Okay, so we have another. What did we say cats were? Sushi chef outside who is very loud. Yeah, he was yelling at us, a sushi chef. Yeah, that was very loud. That we have named Honkers because he's a very loud sushi chef.
Honkers.
So, yeah, because he's too loud.
Glorious.
Anyway, that's what I have.
We have gone very long on this. So, chefs, last night I procured for you burrito, and Carrie had a quesadilla. But just so you know, on Saturday we took a class. A coworker taught us a class on how to make pulao, which is an Indian rice dish. And it
Been
turned out
married for a while. You should know how to pull out.
Does that need to be cut too?
I was hoping that we could find some way to turn that into the transition, but then you didn't do it.
Friday night bites.
Yeah, you can cut that.
Either way, that was Saturday during the day. We made some delicious pulao. It was vegetarian with peas and potatoes, and it was a lot of fun to do.
Nice.
Are you already
Yeah.
stressed about how you're going to edit this episode?
Yes,
Okay. I'm stressed
100%.
for you.
100%. Really not looking for. Here's one little thing that could work out.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be real shit weather tomorrow. Maybe I'll just
Yeah.
like strap myself in, get
Mm.
super baked, and then just like edit in like 2 hours.
There's an
Which is
idea.
how I do it. So if you wonder why the things are spelled wrong, you just know that the person editing this podcast is very
it is
high while
supposed
doing
to
it.
snow tomorrow.
Under the influence.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was supposed to snow tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad.
What is this weather we're having? It was like 72 2 days ago.
Yeah. But it's, you know what? It's cold. It's football weather. Friday Night Bites. We'll be right back after this.
I was just going to talk about like, well, it's Friday tonight, right?
Oh, it is Friday right now. Oh, yeah, we're having a good time. It's Friday, just like Friday Night Bites. We'll be right back.
And do you want to do 3 more maybe? Just you can pick
Yes.
one that you want to use. We can use the first 2. We can. That's
okay,
fine.
yeah,
we can
okay,
use the
yeah,
first
all
2.
right.
Pod Chef.
And we're back. This is Pod Chef Season 6, Episode 2. Season 19, Episode 2 of Top Chef. It's not confusing. We're in Houston, Friday Night Bites. Right off the bat, I just want to say I have to stop watching this show before I eat. I need to eat and then watch the show.
You a little
I
hungry
just
watching this one?
I just get super hungry watching this show.
For the first part, right? Because the second part, I wasn't super enamored. Like, I don't get hungry looking at grains. Like,
Yeah, no, it was the cheese.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I was thinking pizza in this quick fire. I was like, man, all this cheese. I'm not a queso boy. Are you guys queso boys?
I like queso. Yeah, I dig it all right. I do find that I listen. The fountain was really cool.
It was.
of queso, very Golden Corral or whatever. But like the way they had it shot was like it was Padma, and then that was in the background. I was like, it's too distracting. Just
Yeah.
move her slightly. So I'm not
Yeah.
because I was staring at that fountain, and then I didn't even understand what the challenge was.
Yeah.
it looked like that old lady was in front of a green screen. I was like, I swore she wasn't there. There was something off
Irma.
about her standing.
Irma
About Irma.
Galvin.
Yeah. Yeah, I like queso. I actually was craving queso last night, so I ordered burritos, but they didn't have queso there, so I just didn't get it. But I wanted it.
This quick fire is the cheesiest one ever.
Cheesy in here. I love cheese. I do. It's my favorite food. Well, no, ice cream's my favorite food, but ice cream's really just cold cheese.
When she said that, my wife had a physical reaction to that. She said she just ruined ice cream for me.
Gross.
Cold cheese.
Eat that anymore.
Most of my cheese is cold. It's in the fridge.
Yeah, I keep it. If it gets warm, I can't eat it anymore because it makes my tummy sick.
Yes,
Yeah.
if I leave it out, they say
Okay.
don't eat that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is warm, I go find myself a cold wine and I dip the cheese in and it's back to cold again.
I add a little ice to my cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing weird about that.
No, I did that all the
Damn.
time in college. Everyone was
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
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 Maybe that refined palates don't add ice to their cheese, but I'm doing it now. When I'm home by myself, hell yeah, I'm adding ice to my cheese.
Yeah. Little
Does
box
it?
cheese. Yeah, of
Hell
course.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucking
Oh man.
Box cheese puts me out.
The box cheese, man. We used to get wild with the box cheese back in the day. I'll tell you
Mhm.
Better have that bathroom clear. Let me tell you that.
what.
You'd ever done jungle juice with box cheese? Everyone's dipping their cup in, getting some of that box cheese.
Someone during this introduction says that they gained a bunch of weight from eating queso when they first moved to like Texas. And so I asked you guys, how much queso weight did you put on during the Parmdemic?
Do we want to leave that
Okay.
in? Do we want to leave
And
that in?
that
I'm done editing. No more editing.
Keeping that in because it's
You-
too much.
you Gouda keep it in.
Yep, and that's gonna stay too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't have anything on this stuff.
All right. So what was the challenge?
The challenge was the chefs put their own spin on queso, and they had to include an accompanying item to dip into the queso, but it wasn't allowed to be tortilla chips.
This is fun.
I liked it. Simple.
This was a great quick fire. I thought.
It was good. It was simple. And you know what? I like it when I see something that someone's making and I think that's not going to work. And it turns out to be good because DeMars, when he was like, I'm just going to do a regular pepper and not really do much to it, ended up being great. And I was like, that's going to be bad, but it was good. So good for DeMar.
He just took a bite of a jalapeno. He just grabbed it and bit it.
Yeah, he was like, "That's tastes good. Well, I just stick that in there. Easy enough."
That is spicy.
You got freaking Jackson over there that not even making dip. He's just like frying it up like a dummy. It was like, this is not what you wanted me to do. I'm giving you something that's different from the challenge and is bad.
It literally broke Padma's brain. Like she was like,
So pissed.
she was like, "Where's the queso?" And he's like, "It's here." And she was like, "Well, there's no dipping." And he was like, "Yeah, I did something different." And she's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah. I thought that she might have liked it because she was eating a lot of cheese, and I knew she was going to make a comment about it, and she did.
A hush puppy. The queso itself is cheddar and pepper cheese and a little bit of Szechuan chili bean paste.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Lots of cheese. Girl, I know.
Girl.
Laughed so hard at that. At Padma going, "Girl," I love that moment. It was great.
Everyone cheered.
Yeah.
They all got it.
And also the hush puppy dipping in cheese. Oh my god, please. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need a satchel of that, which is the new catchphrase. I'm gonna need a satchel of that, apparently, is how you ask for a lot of food. I'm gonna need a satchel of that.
Give me a whole satchel of hush puppies so I can dip them in my queso dip. Okay?
Oh man, this is so good. I'm gonna need a satchel of this.
So Irma didn't like Sam Robert Jackson's queso, but she did like Evelyn, Nick, and Damar's queso, and Damar wins. This was a big episode for Damar, and
Yes.
which interprets to a big episode for Reeves because
Yeah,
he's on
maybe.
Reeves' team.
I do. So I hate to have to like question
Black people winning.
whether or not someone is cheating or some sort of collusion going on.
Okay.
But Damar wins big in this episode, and he also knows the songs that are playing before they play.
Yeah, what
It
was
seems
that?
like something's either he can see the future and he knows what's going to happen, so he can like sing along. That's how he also does his dishes to know what they're going to like.
Maybe his future sight.
Maybe he has future sight.
Because he was humming and like the music matched it perfectly. Like, how did he know that they were gonna pick that song in that spot?
Yeah.
And why is he so calm? You can only be calm and hum.
Mm-hmm.
You can never be like stressed out and have a humming going on.
Yeah.
So maybe he is cheating. But I'm here for it if he is. I hope he continues to cheat and continues to win.
There was no collusion.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Okay, everyone is trying to blame Damar. They're saying that he's singing and also composing the things, and that means that's why he won the challenge. There's no collusion.
Mm-hmm.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Can someone explain two quick things for me? Okay, this is an observation. Nick's NW clan, all of his kids are initials NW. Insane. His 6 kids. Second of all,
this is Brian again coming after black people. Keep going.
what the? Well, now I'm gonna come after a white person. What the fuck was that burnt milk thing? He made a burnt milk crepe. He just burnt milk.
Oh, the thing that
that's
Jackson
gross.
did?
Yeah, it's
Was that what it was? Is that what it ended up being? Because look, he just like put milk in a pan and then let it burn, and then he was like, "Here's this, eat this."
Wait, who are you talking about, Jackson or Luke?
I don't know. They're kind of the same to me.
I think so. They both did really shitty. But I think you might be talking about Luke. He's the one that like does a lot of like very like whimsical things. But then I think that is who you're talking about. And they're like, oh, it's kind of like a taco or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't look great either. He's definitely. I think Tom says this later. He's like kind of theory first, like, oh, here's this cool concept or whatever, but like his flavors are never there.
Mhm.
So he's probably going home very soon. That looked bad. I don't like Jackson. He annoys me. He's the guy that did the no dip thing.
Yeah. Quick note for this episode is that both white guys got told they're not seasoning their food enough.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talk of seasoning this episode. A ton of salt talk.
Can we talk about this? One of the guys is the guy who last episode said, "Yeah, I worked at the world's greatest restaurant."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then why don't you know how to season?
They don't have
food?
salt there, I guess.
No salt. One time I used sugar.
So I know we've gone long. We're at 45, but Jamal, can you please take 45 more minutes to explain this fucking elimination challenge? The rules were so convoluted and insane.
So we're not going to play it because it's too long. I do have a clip of the entirety of Padma explaining the rules. It is a minute long with no edits, nothing in between, her just explaining the rules. It's so convoluted. It's so bad. It made me so angry. It ruined the episode for me. I will say on second watch, I liked it better, but that's because I understood the rules better.
For the audience, it's essentially they're playing football and they have to score a touchdown. Now, how you score yards is like this: every person picks a person on their team to make a dish, and they go head to head, and they deliver to the judges. And based on how many judges root for your dish over the other person's dish, is how many yards you get. Was it 5 yards a judge?
5, yeah,
5 yards a judge, and you had to go through everyone in the team, and hopefully you scored a touchdown at the end to win. But that didn't happen in this game.
Yeah, no one won. No team won.
This shit made no sense. It literally, like, why do that? And then, like, they should have moved the cooking station the 5 yards.
Yeah.
Like, make them pick up the station and move. Like, instead of making, like, those stupid mascots do it.
Well, let's talk about some other stupid things. Why the hell what were the coaches doing? What was that? Why did they have coaches?
Providing advice.
I'll tell you what Sam wasn't doing. Talking about diabetes. And let's give it up for Sam. The one time he didn't have to do it. He didn't do it.
They won't let me anymore.
Is that the same Sam?
Again, we watched it 15 years ago. We watched his season.
I literally was here
so
like,
different.
Sam looks so familiar, but I can't place him. He looks insanely different. I didn't know that was the same Sam until right now.
Yeah, one of the top sexy chefs of New York.
Yeah.
Now it was like Johnny Knoxville. Professional wrestler Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Reeves, you were saying you asked a question?
No, I'm not going to ask it.
Okay.
Let's keep moving.
Sarah, she's a spy.
First. Do you think that there's something to be said about putting similar dishes up against similar dishes? Jackson's doing a cake, so he should go up against you. Because I kill it. Yeah. Stephanie is doing a feijoada. I think I should go up against her because it's bean versus bean.
Oh, you're like a spy. It's so great.
The easier it is to measure 1 for 1, the easier the win is, and also the less likely it is to be a split vote.
She sounds like Sarah knows how to play this game.
The game master is playing the game.
Yeah, she's learning very quickly. And next week when she meets Hung, I'm sure she'll be like, Hung, you and your gray hair, I'm learning how to play the game, master.
Full glow up for Hung.
Oh, yes.
Looking great.
He's looking good.
The white fox.
I like this. Like, it genuinely, I was thinking about this in the last episode. Something that I liked in the last episode was the fact that it was group immunity. So it allowed for people to take more chances rather than having one person being immune or having immunity and going into a group where it's like they maybe feel more responsibility to like go with the team so they don't bring the team down. So I like that there's potential for more gameplay that allows like another layer to the show where there's like an absence of conflict because they don't have a lot of characters anymore and there's not a lot of like brash people. Make the games a little bit more interesting so people can like strategize a little bit. That gives another dimension to it. You don't need a lot, but a little bit gives a little bit of conflict. So
it came up too.
It did, which I do think is kind of interesting. So more of that, please.
I do. When Jamal was explaining the rules to this, he didn't note there are more rules. It is carb focused meals that are grains and rice. It's just a hat on a hat on a hat.
Yes.
And then at one point they're in the store and one of the women says that this rack is the G spot for carbs. What is that? The G spot.
Yeah, I had that written down as well. It's like I've been in Whole Foods and
it doesn't exist actually.
Well, I haven't found the G spot. I found some other spots.
Well, I think that it's like, I mean, it's in big medical books too, that it's like big Whole Food medical books that it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's fake news.
So like when Whole Foods tells me to hit it and I'm not doing it, I shouldn't feel bad. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. When Whole Foods says deeper, harder, impossible.
Often sexist. So yeah,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
that was just more. This was a weird competition. I do like the head-to-head things though. I do like when, but I also like when it's the same kind of food, like the same, like we each got this item. You pick the bet, like what Sarah was saying, that it's like item for item. My stew versus your stew. I like that.
Tom's not happy about the chickpea situation. He's not happy. And DeMar starts cooking and he's humming again. And we already know that that's his secret weapon. So, how many backstories did we get this episode? We got like 3. Usually, when you get a backstory from someone and they go back and do a double backstory, you're like, oh, they're going home.
Yeah.
But DeMar got a long backstory and I thought he might be going home. But I was like, well, you can't now after the quickfire.
Well, they also had Sam Kang at one point said, I took 2 L's. I need to get a win. I was like, that's kind of setting you up to go home too, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that too. And then also the fact that we saw from the trailer his whole thing where he's like dancing along with
I
the
thought like
mascot.
that was his one part and they're going to get rid of him now.
He's going, but he didn't. He did well.
He might be too fun.
Yeah.
Like it was cute, but it might be too much.
He's too much of a character.
He is pretty wild. He's a madman who thrives on chaos. And he really does try, and I think he, maybe he's playing the game too, and maybe that's his game style. He wants everyone to think he's fun loving, but in the end he's trying to sabotage his own team so he looks good.
Yeah.
You remember when he was using the blender and he said, you want to see me turn these grains into carbs?
Yeah. He said, you want to know how I got these carbs?
My father
had a bit of a eating problem. I almost combined those two. Hold on. I will do it for you. My father had a bit of a weight problem, and that's me combining Dark Knight and Tommy Boy. Got a bit of a weight problem.
Right here in the midsection.
Jam. When you said that Tom didn't like the chickpeas, you know who really fucking hated the chickpeas? Padma. Could not get over she was like, hummus? Like she was disgusted by the hummus.
We already did the dip challenge. What is this?
She was really pissed. She was like, "This is just fucking." This was just like hummus or whatever. Like I've had hummus before, and then this other woman just gave me like broken rice. It's just like rice and beans, right? Whatever.
Yeah. You didn't even make the hummus. You didn't put the chorizo in the rice and beans. Like, why would you remove chorizo from anything? Chorizo makes if there's an ingredient that you have and one of them's chorizo, that stays.
Yeah.
Get rid of something else.
Keep the meat in.
Keep the chorizo.
Yeah. Big mistake by Stephanie. Oh, also, by the way, B-dubs, Brooke, she's guest judge here. And they did another Tom walkthrough. Thank God that was back. And she was kind of razzing Tom a little bit.
Yeah, she was razzing. She was in Tom's business.
Yeah.
I think Brooke is gunning for to take the next step in celebrity chefdom. I think she is prepping herself in PR style to be like, this is my brand. I could be in front of the camera. I could have my own show. So don't be surprised if you see Brooke out there hosting her own show soon. And if you say Brian Shardy does, then to that I say, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, I already
This
knew
is
that.
a joke.
And I think she should actually bring her title from Tournament of Champions that she won, which they do actually get a wrestling title in that show. She should start bringing that around everywhere.
Whoa.
You guys should watch that show. It's really fun.
I didn't know that.
Let's talk about the sticky rice situation.
Nick, we all agree that Monique's dish is banging.
Yes.
And she needs to go before, because if they get 100 points before us, she might not even get us any points.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
you want to switch with her?
No. Yeah, I will switch with her.
Yeah.
So does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
She should go first? Okay, great.
I'm on such a high.
Why does she have to go first?
It doesn't make sense. Everyone he asks multiple times. Everyone agrees, and then a couple of beats later, Sarah's doing a talking head. And she was like, "It was a mistake. Why did we listen to this guy? He was crazy. He was just talking in circles." And everyone just agreed because we were all just on a high. And this is exactly what people like him do. They whip people up and they just
Into a
sneak out the
frenzy.
back door.
Yeah, and then like, man, can you believe we did that and you're gone now and I'm not?
It seemed like Dawn took the hit for that because she was the coach, so she had final say. I'm guessing. I have no idea what role she had in this, other than yelling to Padma from across the field.
Yeah.
What the next? Padma got a mic. No one else did. But like, yeah, they were going for the win. They were trying to get the 2-point conversion to get the win rather than going to overtime, and it bit him in the ass.
And you don't want to go into overtime with these new overtime rules.
No, because they don't make sense, and neither does this elimination challenge. So,
so I love how Tom, after we saw him stare at the chickpeas early on in the episode, asked at judge's table, "Were these chickpeas? Did you make these? Did you make these chickpeas?"
he always says that.
Like, Tom, we all saw you death stare at them earlier. We know that you know that she didn't make them.
You just want to make sure everyone knew and everyone heard. And you know what? I do agree with them because at first I thought I was like, oh yeah, you can use canned chickpeas are great, but I don't think she did anything to them. I think she just drained them and cleaned them.
There.
Yeah, because I saw them and I was like, well, then I kind of get it because it is kind of like just plain canned chickpeas, not the best.
I mean, it's lazy. And then she gave them attitude when they were calling her out about it. Like, Sarah, come on.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really cook this elimination challenge. You like put food on a plate that you opened up out of a package.
You knew it was going to happen because in the store they were like, "Are you going to cook chickpeas?" And she was like, "No." So that you knew that Tom, like the producer, went to Tom and was like, "Hey, she bought the chickpeas. Bring it up." Yeah. And then he slipped the guy $20.
And this is kind of crazy because it's like, this is a cooking show. How do people get past by not cooking on a cooking show? That should be an automatic elimination.
Yeah, I can understand maybe the timing of it. Like, I don't think I'll have time to fully cook through because I think that's what they were saying in the store. Is like you're not going to have time to like soak the chickpeas enough to cook them through. I kind of get it, but like then
So
don't do it.
else.
Exactly.
Yeah, do
don't do it. Yeah. Pivot.
Pivot like Evelyn did because she was making noodles. And because they showed the same clip 4 times of her scooping up the noodles and grabbing one out, it literally was the exact same clip over and over again. She pivoted. And she pivoted to using everyone's leftovers.
Yes. She was just like, what has everyone got? And then Sam, as the coach, was like, just go up to them and just lie about everything. Just tell them, just lie to them. Be confident and tell them this is what you meant to do the whole time.
She didn't do it. She immediately cracked. What happened to the noodles? I fucked them up. This is leftovers. Oh, shit.
They turned into snakes. I can't serve you guys snakes.
So I want to mention that now that I know that that's Sam from Top Chef LA, we might be getting someone from every season of. I mean, they went far back,
and we're getting Hung next episode.
I mean, we might be getting everyone from a past season of Top Chef.
I'm excited to see Hung next week.
Yeah,
need a monkey update.
I hope he.
Really hope. Who knows what's going on with that?
Do monkeys live as long as humans? Could it be dead?
They live so long.
Okay, so he's still alive, probably.
Yeah.
So
unless Hung had to kill him because it was either him or the monkey.
We can't get into that.
We're at an hour right now already.
Yeah. Stephanie was eliminated.
Stephanie, please pack your knives and go.
Thank you very much for letting me
Good
cook
luck
for
to
you.
you.
Put her ass off.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
She was pushing her out the door at this point.
That's not how I go up. It's me.
Oh, man.
I'm gone, guys.
No, you're not. You got last chance.
That's true. I haven't even started to show the judges what I'm capable of. I want to prove that I do have skill, that I do have technique, that I know what I'm doing, and I am excited to go into Last Chance Kitchen and show that.
Yeah, she gets eliminated in Last Chance Kitchen. Princess Kamalea beats her and advances. So that's one of the good things about having 2 of my team members in Last Chance Kitchen. I'm going to get points either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you get 0.5 points for a Last Chance Kitchen win?
Yep, and 1 point for technically advancing an episode.
Can I say
still in the show
that?
Let's talk about the standings. Go ahead.
I think that Leah honestly was fucked up in her episode because in this quickfire, she looked like a professional chef. Like she was like all business, was like everything was like smooth and like good, and she knew what she was doing. She cleaned that rattlesnake though she'd never done it before. Was on it. Like I was like, oh shit, she's like actually a contender. And it sucks that she was like sick in her first episode.
She was literally on team chef owner. That's my team.
Yeah,
That's right. I'm chef owner. So
I think she's probably a really good chef. I mean, they all are, but like it sucks that she looked like she's really fucking good.
So let's do the standings. Reeves obviously won this week.
Big week for Reeves.
Sweep.
I mean, 8.5 points in this week. And
sweep the leg, Johnny, like Sam said in this episode.
Really,
Damar
cool.
scored 4.5 points, which is literally what my entire team scored this week.
Woo!
So the standings now, Reeves has kind of broken out. He's got 18.5 points. I've got 13. Brian has 12.5. I'm sure next week Brian's chefs will start failing.
Right on your heels.
Just nipping at your heels.
This is what happened to me last time we did this, Jamal, is I was losing people left and right. So
I lost people the first time. I lost the first person, and then,
I feel like after you lose 2 people, it's like, oh, gosh. Okay.
Well, if they put a run together in Last Chance Kitchen,
Yeah.
then you can be in business.
I do think, though, is you fucked up by picking the white women because they are going fast. They are getting rid of the white women this season.
Often sexist.
Often racist. And fuck you, hostile.
So Brian is lying. Tell us what's up.
Oh,
or is that not your segment anymore?
No, I don't really have a segment anymore. Psych, it's still Brian is lying, and that's the lie.
Okay. Reeves, where are they now?
Okay, so Stephanie Miller, she has a restaurant, of course, in North Dakota, Butterhorn, which she owns with her husband. It's French Italian. She's got another restaurant called Shelter Belt. I feel like it should be Shelter Belter.
I like that, yeah.
Which has like a 70s feel. It's got a bunch of like tenderloins and BLTs, bratwurst, that kind of stuff.
Meat.
So meat is what's for dinner. Hopefully not broken rice, but apparently that's what she likes.
Can you taste broken rice? It's just like rice that's broken in half. Like, what's the
mushy?
I don't know. Whatever.
Now it's time for my new segment called Small Talk Clip of the Week. Let's listen.
Hey, Steph, what are you making?
Hi, Chef. I am making pepper soda, marinated alligator.
Okay,
with a little bit of grapefruit and some grilled green onion, just to give it some different textures.
Okay. All right. How are you finding the alligator so far?
A little hard to chew.
A little bit.
So I'm gonna do my best to quick fry it and not overcook it, like I did my rice.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with alligator. I think I've eaten it before.
I have at my state fair.
Ah.
You know, fried food at the state fair.
Oh, of course. Well,
it's
yes,
always
of course.
lovely.
It's always about fried food at the state fair.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, well.
So what Jamal is not playing is there were awkward silences of up to 30 seconds in between every question Tom asked.
So that was the small talk.
A lot of
clip
like,
the week.
He's kind of like thumping his fingers on the counter, kind of looking around.
Have you had alligator before? And her answer super fast. No. Oh,
State fair.
Yeah, it's like a state fair or something, maybe.
State fair.
Yeah.
They fried. Have you ever had fried food? So this is something we'll have every week. A nice little moment of Tom doing small talk. He nails it.
I like Tom in Last Chance Kitchen a lot.
He's great. He's very
He's a
fun.
different person.
Yeah.
He's completely unplugged. He's got his hair down.
He literally.
Like, it's great. Yeah, the lighting was bad in the episode.
Yeah.
There's one moment when they're bringing the food to him. They're in complete darkness.
Yeah. It's like there were like maybe like 3 or 4 lights that were very strong in certain areas and then nothing in other areas.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was happening there.
It's a skeleton crew he's got going on for that show. He's like, just give me one guy and I'll make it work.
Maybe he's running it himself. I don't know.
He might.
I wouldn't. We should ask him.
We should. All right. Well, that's it for this week.
Review Hey guys, review the podcast.
Yeah.
Review the podcast. Please give us a review.
And in case, I don't know, a lot of people skipped the beginning, we do need to reemphasize that it's like the Beehive and the Foot Clan. We don't want you guys getting in fights and posting about yourselves on our reviews or on our social media. So please don't do that.
And I do need to say, because we have said that if you review the podcast and say what you had for dinner last night in the way that we do Chefs I Have Prepared for You, we'll read it on the podcast. Someone did that, so here we go. I'll read it now. This is from Apple user FootFan420. The subject of the review is just talk about Top Chef. It's weird, that seems like a critique, but it's got 5 stars. Chefs, I procured for you all you can eat sushi from Yoshi Sushi in Richmond, Virginia. Sprite salad is definitely racist. My favorite part is when you read hashtags, hashtag feet lovers only, hashtag mise en place. So you too can have your review read on the podcast if you leave a review and tell us we had for dinner last night. And that shit's fucking, you can't put a price tag on that.
That's for free.
Because if you could, I would. Give me $5.
And until next time, we're gonna pack our nuts and go.
The goal is to get from one side of the football field to the other to score a touchdown. Whichever team scores a touchdown first will be safe from elimination. To gain yardage, you'll need to impress the judges. Myself, Chris, Tom, Gail, and Top Chef Charleston winner Brooke Williamson. Every vote that a team gets equals 5 yards, for a total of 25 yards available for each round. But if at the end of 7 rounds, neither team has reached the end zone, then the MVP and the eliminated chef can be from either team.